Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to At Lafayette Live here on Monday, August 4th, 2025. Thank you, as always, for choosing to spend your Monday evenings with us, catching up on all the great news here in Lafayette. As we do every week, as we get in and everybody's getting logged in and into the chat, drop in the chat where you're watching from. It's always neat to find out where people are watching from. We certainly have some regular viewers, and I can name off all the places that we see viewers joining us. But it's always fun to see where people are joining us from, whether it's here in the area, in the Greater Lafayette area, in the state of Indiana, here in the Midwest, or around the country. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great having you here. There's really no show without you, so thanks so much, guys. I should remember to make an introduction of myself. I get so used to doing this show and seeing a lot of my same friends now join us week in and week out that I forget sometimes to introduce myself to the new folks. So I'm Geoff Gooch. I am a realtor with the Russell Company powered by At Properties. And I love helping people find home here in the Greater Lafayette area. And that is why we spend so much time talking here on At Lafayette Live about all the great things happening here in Lafayette. It's because I do love the area so much. And yeah, I got to put bread on the table for my kids. And so thanks for joining us. That's who I am. If I could be of help to you in any way, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube and fill out the form, and let's see how we might work together. So now that we're all chatting in the chat, I will try to keep up, but sometimes it's a little hard. So if you have a question for me and I miss it live during the show, I will drop something in the comments afterwards, or I will DM you specifically. But you can also send me a message directly. Text message works great. It's there on the screen in front of me. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about everything that's going on here in the Greater Lafayette area. And when I say everything, I mean, we're obviously hitting highlights. There's all sorts of things always going on here. But first up, we've been following along with this one, and this one in many ways really is kind of directly housing related. But the city of Lafayette is finally going to vote on an ordinance to allow backyard chickens in the city. Believe it or not, you can't have chickens in your backyard, or your front yard for that matter, in Lafayette, and it has been that way for quite a long time. So they've been working through this draft ordinance for quite a while, and they're going to vote on it. They're going to have their first vote on it. And the key thing about this first ordinance is that there's going to be a 1-year sunset. So they're going to try it, and if it turns into a big to-do and it just doesn't work out so well, it'll just automatically sunset if the city council doesn't agree in 2026 to keep this ordinance on the books. So the core components, the important things of this draft of the ordinance that affect people in Lafayette is if you're keeping hens, you would need to get a permit from the city. That's just going to have the city help maintain a record of active chicken flocks, and the permit's going to be free. You have to have some sort of identification on your chicken, a leg band, that sort of thing. So if any animals escape, the city can figure out who they belong to. And of course, as I mentioned before, this 1-year sunset. Believe it or not, West Lafayette doesn't have anything on the books about prohibiting chickens. So this is something that's happening elsewhere in our area. I mean, certainly it's happening all over the country where people have always kept barnyard animals in their yards. So we will see how this goes. Here are the other provisions in the ordinance. Chickens must be housed in a secure coop and pen. It must be at least 18 inches high and provide at least 1 square foot per chicken. It must provide at least, well, that's an interesting thing. The next line says 2 square feet per chicken and be predator proof. Oh, the pen. So the coop is 1 square foot and the pen is 2 square feet and be predator proof. You have to keep your structure at least 20 feet away from any neighbors and 10 feet from property lines. Of course, they have to be predator proof, as we mentioned before. They are going to be restricted to behind a residential structure. So I joked about front yards. So front yard is going to be a no-go. You can't constitute a public nuisance. So if your chickens are getting out of hand, your neighbors will be able to complain to the city. And if you violate the ordinance, you could incur a fine up to $250 a day. So the Lafayette City Council is meeting tonight. Actually, they started their meeting about an hour before we went on the air here for their first reading. And if it is approved, They'll need a second vote to finalize it at their meeting in September. So if you're interested in chickens in Lafayette, if you're interested in home in Lafayette and having chickens in your home, there you go. And you can go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, and I can help you find a home in Lafayette where you too can keep your own chickens. And also hit the like and subscribe button. Really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, getting all of these great videos that we make here on the Lafayette Real, including at Lafayette Live every Monday possible, and get them in front of other people. Let's see. What is next? There's some shocking news that I think I want to come back to here in a minute. I think I'm going to leave that one for last. Fairly minor one. Oh, here we go. I actually had this bookmark set. Let me get that set so I have my notes in front of me. Next up, on this Monday, the Tippecanoe County Commissioners have approved 2 acres on River Road to be rezoned near Fort Ouiatenon for a cell phone tower. If you have ever been to Feast of the Hunter's Moon, you'll know how absolutely terrible and non-existent cell coverage is down in that area. So this cell tower is in many ways a direct response to that. Of course, it's going to be helpful to residents down in that area all of the time, but it's going to be helpful for that. There is some talk about how much this would impact parking down for Feast of the Hunter's Moon and for Ouiatenon, but I think this is one of those greater good things. If you've ever been to Feast of the Hunter's Moon, I tell you what, the way to go is to park at Purdue University and take the shuttle bus in. It's really a great way to go. You don't have to worry about getting stuck in traffic out there on roads that aren't designed to handle that level of traffic. So commissioners voted to approve the zoning request 3-0. So I don't know what the timeline is on that build out just yet, but I bet it's going to be fast. Doubt they'll make it in time for this year's Feast of the Hunter's Moon, but it'll certainly, I would imagine, be ready for 2026. So stay tuned, hit the like and subscribe button so that when we have updates on this cell phone tower project out at Fort Ouiatenon for Feast of the Hunter's Moon, you will be first to hear about it. Next up, we got some road news for West Lafayette. So we've talked a lot in the last several months, 8 months plus now, and I've been following the story for the better part of a year or two now of SK Hynix coming to West Lafayette. And that's not what this story is about. This story is about road construction in West Lafayette, and it is not directly connected to that, but the city of West Lafayette is going to reconstruct and widen Soldiers Home Road, and this is going to be from Sagamore Parkway on the south side of the road all the way up to Calbera Road. In phase 1, they're going to go Sagamore to Hamilton. In phase 2, they're going to go Hamilton to Calbera. The proposed improvements are an 11-foot travel lane in each direction. They're going to add a center 2-way left turn lane that'll be 12 feet wide. There's going to be a 10-foot wide multi-use trail, a 5-foot sidewalk. There'll be landscaped buffers at 5 feet wide, new curbs and gutters, new pavement, new street lighting, and a closed storm drainage sections. The upgrades are going to include a intersection upgrade at Sagamore Parkway that's going to turn into a roundabout. They're going to look at a potential roundabout at Calbera and Soldiers Home, and the rest of the intersections are going to stay as they are. The driveway approaches are going to get replaced in the right-of-way. They'll have ADA compliant curb ramps, and they're going to connect all of this to the existing trail and sidewalk connections. Now, like any road widening project, because while we may not be widening the road proper, we're adding all of these trails, they're going to have to acquire 5 to 10 feet of frontage from about 75 parcels through this phase. Phase 1, buying the right-of-way, is going to start in this fall, 2025. They'll begin relocating the utilities in spring of 27, so in 2 years. Construction will be in spring of 28, and it'll take about a year. And then that phase 2 follows on basically about a year to 2 after that, beginning in 2027 and wrapping up in 2030. If you want to have some input on this, you're too late. No, I'm joking. The public hearing is, ooh, no, I'm sorry. The public hearing is next week for phase 1 at the West Lafayette City Council chambers at City Hall on Chauncey Avenue. The doors will open at 5:30 with the hearing starting at 6 o'clock on August 12th. So that's not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. And I'm going to show you these maps. I don't love these maps, but let's look at them anyway because we've got them. So this is phase 1. Over here to the left, they actually have this map rotated. So this is south and this is north. This is where Soldiers Home Road will merge onto Sagamore Parkway ramp, and you can see they've put this roundabout in here and goes up past Castle Ridge and Glenwood Meadows, and then ends up here at the beginning of U Farms up here at Hamilton Street, and that's phase 1. And then phase 2 is going to be from Hamilton Street here on the south on up to about Calbera up here at the intersection of Soldiers Home Road. The reason that I brought up SK Hynix in the beginning, though, is the fact that this is going to connect to Calbera Road, and we have the new 425 North that is being built. And the question that's up in the air is how that exactly is going to connect to Soldiers Home Road, and how Soldiers Home Road and its twisty-turny bits that go down to River Road State Route 43, if and how and when those are going to be improved, because there's talk of potential truck traffic from SK Hynix needing to go through that corridor. It's possible that SK Hynix also goes west and out to 52 and out to 231 that way. We don't have those answers yet. It's all speculation at this point, but this feels like this is part of that greater plan, while it is also connecting our current roads and improving them and connecting to the rather extensive and great trail system here in West Lafayette. And with that, I'm going to remind you that if you'd like to buy or sell a home here in West Lafayette or Lafayette, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out the form, and let me know how I might be able to help you here, because I love bringing all this news to you, but I also love helping people find home or sell home here in Lafayette and West Lafayette. All right, I just said that I kind of moved some news around live as we are going through this. I had my outline ready, and I really should have made this bit later in the outline, and now I've done it. So if you've watched the channel at all, if you've watched at Lafayette Live with us here on Mondays, or if you're tuning into our videos on the Lafayette Reel on the channel, you have seen a few videos about a shocking new hospital coming to West Lafayette, or new hospital news, or all of this. I thought it was shocking at the time. Maybe shocking is not quite the right word. Surprising, exciting, that sort of thing. This really is kind of shocking, though. We have a 4th hospital coming to West Lafayette. Parkview Health, which is Fort Wayne's major healthcare hospital system, has announced that they're going to bring a hospital to West Lafayette and the Research Park. This is going to be a full hospital with an emergency room with 40 inpatient, with a full emergency room and 40 inpatient beds, just to the west of the new SK Hynix semiconductor fab that is going up on what we have called Site B. So there's been a lot of controversy and consternation about SK Hynix, and it's starting to feel like it's perhaps a done deal that SK Hynix is going to go to Site B. I know there's some lawsuits in the work, and we've been covering those. There's no news about those to talk about this week, about trying to stop that, but this hospital is coming on Site A. So we'll see. But it's the 4th hospital. The first one was Ascension St. Vincent, was announced a few years ago with Mitch Daniels and Purdue University and PRF, a neighborhood hospital in the Discovery Park District. That's number 1. Then Franciscan Health announced an emergency room around the new park in West Lafayette, Cason Park. And then IU Health recently, and this was the one that I thought was surprising, shocking. IU Health announced a full service hospital in West Lafayette, exact site to be determined. We think it's going to be at that same intersection. And now the fourth one, this Parkview Health joining the fray. So we're going to go from 2 major hospitals in Lafayette and none in West Lafayette to 4 hospitals of varying sizes in West Lafayette, in addition to St. Francis, St. Elizabeth, St. Elizabeth, and that's Franciscan Health St. Elizabeth, and IU Health Arnett in Lafayette. They haven't announced exactly what specialties they're going to have. There's been a lot of chat about, like, oh, these hospitals are going to work out amongst themselves. We'll have this specialty, we'll have that specialty. I don't exactly know how well those systems play together. They might very well play very well together. I'm saying I don't know. It also kind of seems like if you're in competition, it might be like, oh, I've got a cancer center. Well, yeah, I've got a better cancer center. I don't know, but more healthcare for the West Side and for Greater Lafayette, that seems good. Is there such a thing as saturation? I don't know. Not an expert in the healthcare field. I mean, we're going from nothing in West Lafayette to a whole lot, but none of them are reading as giant hospitals. And these corporations, whether they're nonprofit or not, that have, budgets of hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in some cases, aren't going to go build something without a financial plan that they can back up and make work. So, I think it's got I think that's good news. Will they all happen? I mean, they've all been announced. The St. Vincent one was announced long ago, and there's been a lot of talk about will it happen, won't it happen? But we'll see. Here's a map of where this one is going. You can see right here, here's the future site of Parkview Hospital. This is Site A, where you see Endeavor Drive, this sepia tone here. This is Site A. Over here where it says future site of SK Hynix, that is Site B. And this is the lawsuit that residents are looking to stop, is to get the zoning change, exception, if you will, change for Site B back away from I-3, from industrial, and force them back to Site A. But now we're announcing hospitals on Site A. Now, granted, the back portion is still available. But what is that going to mean? If I were a betting man, Site B is going to happen. I'm not taking a position on whether it should or should not happen. I wish the residents who are suing to stop this all the best. I just have a feeling that this is going to happen. But this is the map, and this is where it's going to go. So 4 hospitals in West Lafayette. What do you think of that? Leave a comment. Drop in the chat what you think about a 4th hospital here in West Lafayette. Next up, I'm going to move some screens around, some windows around. Next up, after you hit the like and subscribe button, we are going to take a tour of 3 homes here in Tippecanoe County that have large yards. I want to say 2 acres each, but let's confirm that. And we're going to start with 2440 North 650 West. Here's a look at it. It is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath on 3,700 square feet. Let's go ahead and place it on the map. Just by the address, you can know that it is on 650 West, about 2.5 miles north of the 0 line, which is State Street. So I'm just going to bring up the map. Here it is. So here's 650 West. Here's the home. I'm going to zoom out. Here's Mont Romency, which is the intersection of 52 and 231. And if we keep zooming, here's the home. Here's West Lafayette. This is a 10-minute drive into Purdue University. You literally pop down to 26, come down this way, and you're into Purdue University. you can go this way and get up to West Lafayette. You're in the country, but man, you're still really, really close to everything. So let's take a tour. Let's take a tour of 2440 North 650 West in West Lafayette. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,732 square feet. And this one has 2.85 acres. You have the little barn outside. 5 separated pastures out there. If you want to keep horses, it's perfect. Then we move from the horses into the primary suite, nicely finished. Got the large makeup and sink area. That is a gigantic shower. Got the sitting area in front of the window there. Large island in the kitchen with some honey oak kitchen cabinets. Maybe just a little dated feeling, but certainly very functional. Got the eat-in kitchen, the breakfast nook, if you will. Some carpet in the living room. TV too high above the mantle. Sorry, that's how I feel about that. Got a llama hanging up here. That's fun. Got the overlook from the second story. Got that nice open airy light feeling going on. Moving into one of the secondary bedrooms upstairs and another secondary. This one is TV too low. Secondary bathrooms. Got the nice double sink going on there. Loft up above the living room. This is the living room down here. You can see up above they have this one set up currently as a bedroom. There's a bed up here. I wouldn't do that. You don't have much privacy that way. This is not meant to be a bedroom. You don't have any privacy from the living room. This is meant to be a den. Move downstairs to the finished basement. You can see that there needs to be a little bit of trim work done down on the floor, but you do have the drop ceiling. Got some faux finishes on the wall here on this one. Bathroom downstairs. And then we move out to the backyard. Got a lovely deck. And here's the plot of the land. Like I said, this one is 2.85 acres. And the way it reads, 30 by 40 pole barn. You got a 10 by 20 cement slab and a half loft. Completely fenced yard separated into 5 pastures. They're relatively small pastures if you only have 2.85 acres. They're half an acre or less. This has a West Lafayette address, but it is a Benton County Schools. There's a weird overlap there on the west side of Tippecanoe County that is actually Benton County Schools. So that is 2440 North 650 West in West Lafayette. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,732 square feet, 2.85 acres, currently listed for $615,000. Go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out the form, and let's go look at this one together. Next up in our tour of homes here in the Greater Lafayette area with acreage is 1441 South 650 East in Lafayette. Take a quick look at the front. This is a lovely brick home. It has 7 acres, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 4,134 square feet. Let's take a look at the map. Kind of bring it up here. Here's the home. Here's 650 East, just off of 150 South. You can see the Wildcat Creek right here. Kind of zoom out. You can see McCarty Lane. Here's 200 South. Here's 38. This is the exit. This is exit 168. This is exit 172. So it about splits the difference between the two of them just to the east side of Lafayette. I mean, you can zip into Lafayette in any number of ways through here. Super close, super close. But let's take a tour. let's take a tour of 1441 South, 650 East in Lafayette. 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 4,134 square feet on 7, that's right, I said 7 acres. Lovely brick home. It was built in 1966, so it's not ancient, but it's not brand new either, but sturdy brick homes are usually always nice. You can see the attached garage plus the separate garage out back here in the aerial find. Lovely open concept kitchen. I love the giant island and the hood hanging down from the ceiling. You've got the lighter blonde wood cabinets here in the home, but the kitchen is really connected to the living spaces here. You can see several different angles of the kitchen and lots of cabinets, lots of storage space beside it being open. But you've almost got this log cabin feel going on here with the hardwood floors from the eat-in kitchen, if you will. Here's the dining area moving straight out to the living room. You definitely call this a great room, and this is a traditional great room. You know, this isn't one of those, hey, it's the kitchen, living room, everything all in one. This is, you know, the great room where it is all in one space, but it still has that separation. You can see the dining area there, in addition to the really large bar. Oh, I love this fireplace here. So you can actually have it's kind of a hearth instead of just a fireplace. So you got the firebox down below, and there's a proper fireplace with an insert next to it. You got floorboard heat in here. But yeah, this open concept great room is absolutely fantastic. Love the hardwood paneling on the wall. Continuing on to take our tour through here. So yeah, you've got fireplace with insert, but you've also got hearth with firebox down below here. Get into what is I believe that's the primary. You got living room, den, if you will, off of the main room with the carpet, floorboard heaters. If those are hydronic, if I remember correctly, those are hydronic and not electric. Not finding the note on that quickly. It's been a minute. I'd probably pull up that carpet and put in wood to match the rest of that living room. Got a den space there. Use it as a library, perhaps. Lovely hardwood there. Why we went with carpet in the other room is a little mystifying, but that is okay. We move into the bathroom that needs a little bit of updating. The white's a little dated. If you've never had baseboard heaters that are hydronic, you're really missing out. They're fantastic. Give you a nice, warm, moist is not the right word, but really makes the home comfortable in the winter. Moving into bedrooms with hardwood floors, lovely brick patio out back. Continuing on, you have the 4-car garage, and we finish up with some aerial views. So that is 1441 South, 650 East in Lafayette. If you're looking for acreage, this is 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 4,134 square feet, but it has 7 acres. Currently priced at $649. If you would like to go see this one, or if you're interested in home at all here in the Greater Lafayette area, in Lafayette or West Lafayette, go to thelafayettereal.com/YouTube. Fill out the form, and let's figure out how we can work together to make your home dreams reality here in the Greater Lafayette area. Next up on our tours of homes with acreage here in the Greater Lafayette area, we're going to go to 4801 Homewood Drive in West Lafayette. I'm going to get the picture up here, and this is a unique one. And you'll see as we tour through. So here's a picture of the front. Take a quick glance of that. 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,124 square feet on 2.19 acres. And as we always do, let's begin with the map. Let's place it. So this is on Homewood Drive, which is just a little to the northwest side of West Lafayette. Here's the home. So here's 500 North. That means it is 5 miles north of State Street. And if we zoom out, you're going to start to see down here, this is where Menards and Meyer are on the west side. This is a 2-minute drive into Menards and Meyer, and I'm just going to recenter the map a little bit here. You can see here's the commercial hub of West Lafayette. Like I said, Menards and Meyer. Here's Walmart right here. Down here under my face, here, right here. This is where Payless and Fresh Time and all of that are. And if we zoom out one more level, here's the rest of West Lafayette and Purdue University down here. From here, take the 231 bypass down to Cherry Lane or State Street or Lindbergh, anywhere down in here. And this is, I mean, it's probably 2 minutes to here, probably another 3 minutes to here, and like 3 minutes into here. You're 10 minutes from Purdue University. So you're super close, but you're also getting 2.19 acres. So let's get ready to take a tour. Like I said, this is 4801 Homewood Drive, West Lafayette. 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,124 square feet on 2.19 acres. Let's take a look around. I won't ruin it for you. I'm going to show you the pictures. This one definitely has some uniqueness to it once we move inside. There you go. It's not quite a log cabin feel on the outside, and it's not quite, you know, the rustic feel on the inside, but it definitely has the hints of that. You know, kind of look at the shaker style siding, the gambrel roof right here, and then we move to the inside, and then look at the wood tones, look at the floor, look at the beams and the exposed wood slats of the ceiling in the great room here. Really like this feel in here. It's warm and cozy without being oppressive. A subway tile here on the backsplash. Gas stove in the island. Farmhouse sink with windows. I don't love the oven being down below, but you know, it works for some people. I like the new in-wall. I mean, they're not new. In-wall ovens have been around forever, but it's definitely a feature that comes with many, many new homes these days. But look at this great room. This one is the one that really gives you the feel for being in a log cabin, or a lodge is perhaps more the appropriate way. You have the stonework around the fireplace. You got the beautiful wood, the soaring windows. I think it just all really works well together. You've got the main living area here just off of the kitchen. Got the dining area. Just really feels all of a piece. You know, this is well thought out. We even have hardwood up in the bedrooms. You got the archway in the bedrooms that really kind of ties the entire room together, so you don't just have a whole bunch of white drywall out here. You got the framing that gives it the feel of older homes. I mean, this was built in 1999. It's only 26 years old. You got the cabinets harkening back to the great room. I might paint these the trim around the window to kind of tie that in even a little more myself. Moving on into secondary bedrooms and baths. You have the large 5 or 6 inch tiles here in the bathrooms. That's definitely a through line. Back out to the second story of the great room area, you can see that the vibe and feel continues through. Now, this is what I'm talking about, where you've got the wood beams and everything. Like I said, I might paint this trim, but that's a pretty minor thing. That's what I thought as I was walking through before. Seafoam green here. I mean, clearly somebody's color that they chose. Not ugly, but look at this. Look at the architecture. Just the picture that you get right here. I mean, put an easy chair there. Lay back and just enjoy the view of your home. Moving up into the unfinished attic. I guess you could call it partially finished because there's 1, 2, 3, 4.5 pieces of drywall here. Almost looks more like a haunted house, but you can see here you actually open out. This is the second story. You can see the landing out here. So this room could be finished. What are the notes on that? A bonus finished attic space that offers endless possibilities, including a potential primary suite retreat. So I believe this is in the envelope of the house. We can see the vent here pointing into it. It just needs to be finished. Love that view from the second story of the great room looking down. Moving down to the basement, you can see the stone kind of in some ways continues the architecture of the room. You got the wood burning stove down here. A few finishing touches down here, maybe updating the ceiling panels, I think could really tie this basement in with the rest of the feeling of the great room upstairs. Really wouldn't take much. And then you move out back and we can see the great room windows that we were looking out through before back here. You got this lush terraced backyard. It is a walkout, so that is nice. It's not just a basement. And here we start looking at the aerial view, the pond back here behind. You could probably put a circulator in there if you wanted to turn that into an old swimming hole or something along those lines. Wouldn't take very much. Here is the layout. So you come in to the foyer or the garage, and you got the office directly in front of you. The great room over here to the right with the living and dining area and kitchen all in the L shape here. Primaries on the main floor. Then you go downstairs to the basement, and you have storage and rec room down here. And then coming upstairs is where you have the open to below and the bonus spaces. This is the area that needs to be finished a bit. So this is 4801 Homewood Drive in West Lafayette. It is 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3,124 square feet on 2.19 acres, currently listed for $550,000. And for 2.19 acres at more than 3,000 square feet with that feel on the inside, it really feels like a steal of a deal. And if you're looking for a home here in West Lafayette, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out the form, and let's go look at this home together. Because don't forget, I'm Jeff Gooch with the Russell Company powered by At Properties, and I bring you At Lafayette Live every Monday at 7 o'clock because I love home here in the Greater Lafayette area. I love living here. I love all the things that are going on, and I love helping other people find their home here or sell their home here, to find their next home or to find their next home wherever it might be. And it means so much to me that you join us all the time, every Monday. But don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons so that you make sure you get notified about all of the videos that we post on the channel almost every day of the week about fun things to do here in the Greater Lafayette area, fantastic home tours, development news, and just everything that you need to know about. Thank you so much for joining us here on At Lafayette Live on the Lafayette Real Monday, every Monday at 7 o'clock. It does mean so much to me that you join us every week. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Have a great week, everyone.